Hey everyone, it's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I actually have a really good friend of mine, Mr. Frank Curtin. He is a business coach for dentists. And Frank, thank you so much for jumping on.
Oh, appreciate it being here, Glenn. Thank you so much for having me.
So the reason why I'm bringing you on, so I made a post earlier about what's next, right? A few years ago, I kind of went through that same situation. I've been practicing for a while, and I was thinking to myself, well, what's next? I want to impact my community. I want to impact more people. I also wanted to create residual income streams and whatnot. And what happened is I started looking for different masterminds. I joined 2 mastermind groups. One of the masterminds, I actually met you, Frank.
Right.
And that's kind of the beauty of joining a mastermind group. You get to connect with different people. You get to grow with them, learn different things. And so before we even talk about the mastermind that you're associated with, right, that I'm super happy that I just signed up with, before we even jump on to that, what is a mastermind, Frank? What is that?
Well, the mastermind concept started with Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I know a lot of people have heard that book. It's kind of like the Bible, if you will, in many of the industries out there. When you see anybody online and stuff like that, that's kind of where they're going. But really in the entrepreneurial spirit of things, that's a really great book to get started with. But in the interest of a mastermind is where everyone gets involved, right? And it gives each individual an opportunity to get focused on them and whatever they got going on in their lives, whether it's personal or business, whatever it is, it's their choice. And all members that are present contribute and participate in the solution. So where 2 or more minds come together, a third mind is created. That's what a mastermind truly is. You'll hear the word mastermind used loosely out there in the marketplace because there are people that put in what we call group coaching. That's where they'll call it a mastermind, but they don't use a hot seat model with that focused attention. They have a curriculum, right? And when you run off of a curriculum, that means you're going to follow my agenda. That's a one-size-fits-all approach. We wanted to create something in our own that went back to the basics and said, look, it's not a one-size-fits-all. All of us are at different places in our lives, in our business, in our personal, the whole 9 yards. So what do you need now in the present moment? That's what a true mastermind does, is it gives you the attention you need on a one-off basis. You couple that with some training around the outside of that to sort of get you educated on some of the areas that maybe you don't know enough about. And you've got yourself an opportunity to really gain some insights into yourself, your business, and where you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I totally agree with that. And when I joined the 2 masterminds I was in, this is going to be the 3rd. But, one was about just creating a culture in our dental practice. That's with the Inner Circle of Delivering Wow in that mastermind. And we met in a different mastermind, Frank. It was geared towards investing. Real estate investing and other alternative investing. And so that kind of got my mind going. I met different people in a different arena. And that's kind of the beauty of the mastermind, because everyone's in a different place.
Yes.
There were people that have been practicing longer. I started learning from them. Some people were in different types of investments. And the thing is this, I told myself, I didn't want to be on that hamster wheel. You know what that hamster wheel is, Frank?
Oh, yes.
It's that hamster wheel. And, a lot of your clients face that. And so people are thinking right now, guys, a mastermind, and especially the one we're talking about here, it's a multiple things, right? Some masterminds focus on finding other income streams, right? Passive income. Some masterminds focus on growing your dental practice. Some masterminds focus on getting you better here. What I like about this Same Page Mastermind, I just want to kind of give a little teaser here, is it has a little bit of everything. And the main thing is our goal is to get you out of that hamster wheel, right? The hamster wheel of going into practice, sit there, prepping some teeth, right? Dealing with the staff, wearing all the hats. You're the manager, you're the dentist, you're the IT guy, you're all the. But Frank, what you do actually in your business is you prevent dentists from being the jack of all trades and becoming the leader they're supposed to be. So talk about that.
Very much so, yeah. And I'm a big believer in the EOS model. There's a book out there called Traction by Gino Wickman. I became an implementer, probably 4+ years ago now. And what I've found is that in the dental space, doctors go to school and the schools do exactly what they promised. They give you the opportunity to be the best doctor you can be. They never promise you practice ownership. And that's not what they're in the business of doing. Their job is to make you as proficient as a doctor as your hands were gifted by God, whatever that is for you, right? So if that's true, and now you find yourself in a position where you've taken on that entrepreneurial spirit and you've taken on this practice, now what? And so we tend to follow into the footsteps. If we bought one, we tend to follow what our mentor did, right? We tend to do that. If you go at Greenfield, then you might be involved in somebody's program where they might give you some guidance and say, here, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But in all cases, what I'm finding is everyone thinks they need to be the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. They're everything. Right? They're everything. And what I do is I help people start to realize that you can put other people in control. You can trust them. They can run the business, and you can actually leave for a week and come back and have more money in the bank than when you started, that's a true business ownership. And if your business operates at what I'd like to call if it's a profitable venture where every doctor got paid a fair wage, their fair, whatever their compensation is, that 30, 35% of production, whatever that number is, everybody got that. And there's still money left over. That's why DSOs are here. Right? Yeah. They know they can make money. If they couldn't make 20% with a business like that, they would leave the industry and they'd go take their money elsewhere. They know they can do it. They know they can do it. So can you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'll just go ahead. You probably see a little hand. This is my son, Jackson. He wanted to come say hi. Jackson, say hi. All right. And so, the reason why like Jackson said here. So a big part, Frank, and my journey here,
yes.
My journey in joining all these masterminds, I wanted to work on my practice, not work in my practice. But another thing too, is create these residual income streams, right? Mm-hmm. I'll be the first to admit, and that's the main thing whenever you're thinking about a mastermind, right? Is you have to go in there and just be humble, and you're not the smartest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, you got to leave and join a different group. That's my philosophy.
You're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room. And so the big thing is I didn't know anything about investing. I didn't know about all these income streams. And being in those masterminds, I've learned all these things. And that's what this mastermind is going to be about. You're going to have, so those of you who are watching right now, Frank is a big part of it. But this is not about EOS. This is not about that. It's about whatever you need, because there's going to be, talk about some of the speakers and the educators that are going to be in the mastermind that will help people, deal with alternative income streams and passive income.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it starts with, first and foremost, where are the buckets of money, right? I mean, if you look at life, you look at your financial component of your life, we're going to have buckets. We're going to have these things where there's certain amounts of allocation of dollars, and your financial advisors and all that kind of talk to you about what you're supposed to have. And you're taught to go do all that because you're in a more affluent career path when you're a doctor. So you're going to get some guidance there. And it's typically a financial advisor of some kind, but they're going to steer you clear of some of the really good things. Like they're going to steer you clear of real estate. They're going to steer you clear of franchises. They're going to steer you clear of the types of things that have much higher returns than the average stock market index fund, and things of that nature. Now, I believe that all vehicles for wealth creation are at play. Everything has a chance to make money. I know people who've made money and lost money in every one of those avenues. Right. I knew some people that did franchising. They did very, very well. I know some other ones that they wish they had never done it. Right. But it goes down to, what do you know about the bucket you're putting something into? Right. Is it dark when you look in there, or do you have knowledge of what's in there? Because you can be dumb money or you can be smart money when you put your money somewhere. So as an example, if you invested into a dental practice as a doctor, you're what somebody would call smart money. Because if something went wrong, you could personally step in and do something about it. You don't have to go hire a whole team of people to come in and fix it. You could step in and do something. If you were going to go into real estate and you don't have real estate training and something goes awry with some of the properties you have, you got to hire people to do that because you don't have the personal knowledge to do it. We're all about educating people and bringing them up to speed on all the different buckets. so that you are smart money in any one of them. And any one that you want to go into, if it attracts you, some people are attracted by the options market. Some people are attracted by just, there's thrills, there's dopamine shots coming from all different types of investment, right? That's what's going on. It's no different than watching a sporting game, right? You get excited about something. Same thing happens in there with these things. It's kind of like that gambling bug, if you will. And face it, the more you know about the investment vehicle that you're playing in, whatever it is, whatever you choose, the more you know about it, the less gambling that's involved. When you don't know anything about it, you might as well be at Vegas rolling the roulette wheel, because you just don't know, right? You have nobody other than maybe a few people guiding you on here and there. And by the time they're telling you to react, it might be too late. You may have already taken a hit.
And I totally agree with it. And that's what kind of led me to kind of seek out all these different groups, because look, I was the first to admit, some people, they know how to invest their money. I was clueless with that. I needed to learn. I needed to surround myself with people who've done it before, who are experts. And so the great thing about this mastermind is there's going to be a little bit of everything. There's going to be people who are talking about real estate, different types of investment, growing multiple practices, land, investing in land. So many different experts are going to be there. But here is the biggest difference. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell everybody the biggest difference between this mastermind and maybe other investment masterminds. Everyone who's in this group, they're members of the group. They're not going to just come there and try to sell a product and walk out of there. Okay, they're not there to pitch from the stage. Everyone that's in the mastermind is going to have opportunities to work, even if they bring the investment vehicle with them, right? They're going to be there participating as well. They're members. It's a true mastermind. Right. And Frank, talk about why that is so powerful to have someone being a part of the mastermind.
Well, we're trying to create a community here, right? Because at the end of the day, what we really feel good about is you get around people that you know, like, and trust. That's a good feeling, right? We get that. That's what we call culture when we're talking about our practice. When you have a really humming practice and you got the right people in the right seats, you got all the right people. You know this from the culture side of the EOS side, but this is true of whether it's EOS or anything else. Just having a good culture. If you have one of those, you know what that feeling is like. When you get around people that are growth-oriented, growth-minded, they're thinking about advancing themselves, not just personally, but also professionally on the business side. And in addition to that, they're also looking beyond that. They're looking, how do I do something for others as well? It's that giving component, right? How do I give of myself in a way that isn't just either my time or my money, but just something unique to somebody else? So when I look at a mastermind community, I think people need to be on equal footing. They need to be equal across the board. It doesn't matter whether you're the expert over here. There's no pedestal to put them on, right? Or whether you're the doctor with only 1 year into practice and you're just now turning your profit, right? You are on equal footing with these people and have equal access to everybody. And nobody should ever look at you as a community member and say, well, you come back and talk to me when you're ready. No. If you're in, you're in. You're in the community. People are there to build you up, lift you up, and bring you to the place that you want to go, not where they want to take you. Right? That's what a good friend does. A good friend's not going to tell you where to go. They're going to guide you on the journey you're on. And that's what it is. You're on your own journey, whatever it is you choose. Some people want to grow practices and have many of them. Some people want to grow a practice, sell it, take the capital and go do something else. There's no right or wrong answer. There's just answers and consequences, right? The more knowledgeable we become as a community of people, the more smart we become as a body, we have people we can rely on, the easier it is for us to make better decisions, right? If you have a good opportunity to get involved in let's say a franchise opportunity or even a piece of real estate, and you can pick up the phone and call a couple of people who know the game, you're no longer doing it in a dumb money component. You're putting smart money to it. Right. So it gets you there. So this community concept with everybody being on equal footing and everybody having equal access to one another, when you need help, you pick up the phone and you get the help you need. There's no waiting. There's no walls. There's no barriers. There's no red tape. It's a community of people. Once they're brought together and once that person's been accepted in and adopted into this community, they have that ability to move forward from there. That's really what we want.
So let's talk about the main difference between what a mastermind is, because, people asked me this before. They're like, well, Glenn, you're really active in the Facebook group. You have a very active Facebook group here in Nifty Thrifty Dentist. Why can't we just throw questions at each other. Why do we have to join a mastermind? Like, why do we have to have 4 quarterly meetings where we meet face to face? Why can't we just, get on the Facebook, type a question and ask questions there? And I tell them it's very different. And I'll let you explain that. So why join a mastermind group and meet 4 times a year? Why can't you just get on Facebook and just ask questions to people?
Number one is accountability. Think about the different groups that you're in. You're going to have a gamut of people with risk tolerances ranging from no risk tolerance at all the way upwards of, oh my God, they bet the farm on everything they do. Right? So you're going to get this gamut of things. On Facebook, you're getting blind responses, and really you're getting somebody to respond to you if it's convenient for them. So some people who might have an opinion on that, if somebody makes a negative comment on something, they might be fearful of making their post now.
Sure.
Fearful of sharing because somebody might shoot the idea down there. When you're in a room that's everybody, you've got their trust and you've got all the attention on you. You bring up this challenge that you have, sort of like you see in Facebook posts from time to time. And you've got all these people dedicated to you in that moment. And you've got 20 minutes up there of nothing but dedicated focus to come up with as many possible ways to slice and dice and solve that thing that you really are looking to do. And then you've got accountability. When you come back that next quarter and you told everybody, I'm going to take the following action to put this to bed, you've got accountability when you come back. If you do something and put it out there on Facebook and all these people are chiming in with wonderful things, that's great. Where's the accountability? Who's holding you accountable to get that done? Right. And so it's one of those things. You've got a team of people around you supporting you and pushing you to get it done. On Facebook, we love Facebook. Don't get me wrong. Those communities on there are great. I've made connections with people that are just tremendous. But it's not the same being in front of somebody, being belly to belly in a group of people coming together 4 times a year. The reason for that is it takes about 90 days to reset. When you'll notice when you go to an event and that ether kicks in. And everything feels good. You're getting this great information. And then Monday comes and all of a sudden, nobody around you shares what you just left. They're not like that. Even if you have a good culture in your office, they didn't go through what you just went through. They didn't get that. If you can't get that recharge back again, you can easily lose momentum on anything you're pushing towards. It's easy to start just that deflation because the ether wears off. Right. And that's in essence what's happening. Every quarter, you're right back there again. And you've got some things that you need to get done from one quarter to the next, all designed to achieve the things you said you wanted to achieve, not what I said you need to achieve.
Right. And there's something special. There's really something special when you're in a mastermind, you get together, right, in person, working through all these issues you may have or learning different things. The mastermind kind of elevates everyone's mindset. But here's another thing too. With some of the masterminds, I have someone who's just starting off their career, and I learned something from them as well.
Right.
Frank, I mean, there's so many times when we're in that mastermind group together, and people have come up to me, and I'm young enough to be their son. They're like, "Oh, well, I love how you did that pose and whatnot. What software did you use?" They learned something from me. I learned something from them, and that's the true beauty of the mastermind.
Well, and that's the thing is when you come and you present an issue, whatever that issue is that you're doing, well, I don't care if it's personal business, whatever it is, somebody's been in your shoes before and they've walked that walk. And they can tell you some of the pitfalls and where are the landmines on this journey that you're on, right? And they can give you that where it's tough to get that just in a general setting and putting it out to the universe and having a bunch of people chime in on it. We've all seen posts go where they go rogue, where the post didn't go in the direction you wanted.
I've experienced that a few times in this group.
Of course, because you're going to have some people with different sets of opinions on these things. In the mastermind thing, it's a community of trust, and trust is everything's constructive, 100%. And it is. People have been there in front of you and have experienced what you're experiencing now. And the neat thing is something you may have experienced, you can share with somebody and turn around, and when you're up there, they experience something that you need help with, and it's just completely different. It doesn't matter the age. Experience doesn't come from necessarily the age. It comes from the actions we've taken and in the response to the actions that have been presented to us, right? How we respond to these things. So it's just a whole different game when you're belly to belly with people and that focuses on you. And again, you can go and figure it out yourself, or you can put posts out there. How well do you trust the information you're getting? Sometimes it sounds like common sense, and let's face it, doctors aren't dummies. right? You didn't go to all that school because you don't know how to think for yourselves. You absolutely do. But that can also work against you, thinking I can solve everything.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of docs have that opinion, and they go through. I can't tell you the number of clients that look by after we do what we do together, after we implement the EOS system and stuff like that. There's plenty of them out there that have done that for, and they look back and go, you didn't know what he didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know that this was even out there and available for me. And I've been overcomplicating things.
I want to go back to, what we talked about in the beginning. The goal here is we're all on this in the dental practice, or most business owner, we're on this hamster wheel, right? Mm-hmm. It's this hamster wheel. You got to go in there. You got to be the dentist. I love that analogy where you said you have to be like the baker, the chef.
Baker and the candlestick maker.
You got to be everybody. That's what we are in the dental practice, right? And something that you're an expert is you're an expert, Frank, at getting people in the practice, other team members, to kind of buy into the overall strategy, the overall culture, so that the practice owner can be the true leader and visionary. And so with the mastermind, that's one thing. But another thing too is, okay, right now as dentists, our hands right here, that's how we make our money, right? And it's a great investment. It's what we work so hard for. But if you want to get to the next level, you got to diversify a little bit. And that's actually why I jumped in different masterminds. And that's what's going to be so exciting about this. I was talking to one of my friends, Nirav, who's in the mastermind. He's really big in land deals. I'm learning from him. There's other people I'm not going to mention just yet because we're waiting for them to sign up, but they're talking about, real estate, turnkey solutions, lending deals, all these different things. Because look, guys, if you put your money in the bank, right? And my wife was like this. She's really good with her money, but I'm going to put my money in the bank. I'm not going to risk anything. Guys, that money that you put in the bank, what happens to it, Frank? If you just leave your money in the bank?
You might as well stick it in a mattress. It's just
it just the value goes down.
The purchase power goes way down over time.
And so you always have to kind of be diligent with your money. And so that's what this mastermind is about. You may not know anything about certain investments. That's how I was when I first joined. But I got connected with different people. We learned. And let's talk about the hot seat model. Okay. Right. So there's different types of masterminds that have different ways of presenting. Yes. But Same Page Mastermind is all about the hot seat model. So Frank, can you talk about that real quick?
Absolutely. So the hot seat it's really got two key components to it with what I like to call the kicker, right? So the two key components are, number one is you will share something that you need, a problem of some kind, something like that. And I generally work with each person, each member before the mastermind to help them flesh out what is it that they're looking to solve. What would they like to get an answer to? Something that really can be a benefit to them, either in their practice, in their investing, in their personal life, whatever it is. And then it's the power of the group. It's where we unleash that question out to the group. And now you've got, horseshoe setting. Imagine everybody sitting around, and you have the opportunity. All focus is on you. And we're there to handle any people who are nervous for that about being the center of attention. But look, you need to be the center of attention if it's a problem that's worth stating to the room and get it done. And so the second part of that is that room goes to work on you. They go to work on your problem, fixing and solving what you have to do. The kicker, everybody is asked to share something that's working in their life, whether it's a business share, a personal share. I've seen people say, I've got a spreadsheet for tracking my investments. Other people are saying, hey, I got this software that I've been using and it's turning out to manage time for me really well. Like, it's little things, but you'd be amazed when you get so many people in a group, all of them sharing. Some of the things that'll be said, you'll be like, I already have something better than that. Other things you're going to go, wow.
Yeah.
That is helpful. Not everything is for everybody, but everything said will fall on somebody's ears and help them. Right? There's always somebody that's going to benefit from what you have to share. So sometimes people think, well, I don't have anything great to share. It's like, you'd be amazed who doesn't know some of the things you know.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. And then when you start getting together, and the more that starts coming out, the more our minds are expanded, open, and the more we can share with others and pay it forward down the road. It's an amazing model to be able to do that. I really like it. I've been involved in masterminds since 2008. The ones that I've gotten the most out of have always been the hot seat model. because it isn't a one size shoe fits all. It's a, what do you need now? Mm-hmm. Because what you need now won't be what you need a year from now. It won't be the same. And you'll bring that question there, and there'll be somebody in that room or somebody's in that room that will have been through the journey that you're about to embark on, and they'll have some guidelines for you, some ways to do it. There will be experts in there that you can talk to, whether it's them responding immediately there or you talking to them in the hallway after. Some of the best things that I've ever gotten out of masterminds that I've attended have actually not been in the meeting. It's in the breaks.
Right.
It's dinner time.
And when we talk about, every member is going to go through a hot seat. Okay. Everyone in the mastermind goes through this hot seat. Okay. And really that's just kind of force that growth. But there's going to be other members, some members who are actually experts in a certain field. It's not going to be just all dentists. There's going to be some real estate experts there, so different types of experts, and they're there just helping you work through the issues you're having. So I think that's very powerful. So let's talk about the Same Page Mastermind. I'm super excited to be signing on. There's a lot of my friends are in there as well. And so there's 4 quarterly meetings.
Yes.
And the first meeting is going to be where?
In Tampa, Florida.
In Tampa.
January 11th through 13th.
And so that's the first meeting there. And here's the thing, I was telling Frank, I was like, look, masterminds are still kind of foreign to a lot of people in this group. Not everyone knows what a mastermind is. And that's why we really wanted to do this Facebook Live, to kind of explain it and kind of also talk about what Same Page Mastermind's all about. So everyone's wondering, well, it sounds great, but gosh, what's the commitment? Number one, there's a big time commitment. It's right. Quarterly meetings.
It is.
And, there's going to be a financial commitment there, but I don't know if it's right for me. Well, we have the niftiest, thriftiest deal ever. Okay. And Frank, just talk about that. So for someone who's, they're curious about it. They want to see what it's all about. What's this offer to kind of get everyone comfortable with it?
Hey, we don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable, feel like they didn't get value. So it's a $1,500 seat deposit when you come. If you attend the meeting and you don't feel you got $1,500 worth of value, simply ask for your money back and you'll get your money back. And so
wait, what?
You'll get
hold on. Wait, you're gonna what now?
I've been in masterminds for over 10 years. I never see anybody give their money back because the value is always there. Even in a poorly run
$1,500.
Yeah.
That just to go, right?
Yep.
And the mastermind is 3 days.
It's 3 days. It's a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days of meetings, networking with people, learning different things, investments, leadership, whatever you need. And at the end of 3 days, if you decide this was just a big waste of my time,
yep,
get your money back.
That's right.
But you know what? You won't, because you're going to learn so much. And at that point, you have the opportunity of joining the mastermind and, like I said, attending the other meetings.
And one of the things about Same Page, just so everyone's clear, that name came from the idea of getting you on the same page with your business, get on the same page with your personal life. If your spouse comes, get you two on the same page with your finances, with the way your business is running. I see so many times where the docs, the wife knows nothing about it, or conversely, if the wife is the doctor, the husband knows nothing about the business. God forbid something happened to you. What would they do? Yeah. How would they even know where to begin to step in and sort of, clear up whatever they need to do? Or if you got incapacitated for a period of time, maybe sick or ill, who is looking out for your interest? So it's getting everyone on the same page in all areas of your life, right? Because that's really key about that. That's one of the things that I think is really important for people. It's really important for your office manager and which we call an integrator, right? So it's really important for them and the doctor to be on the same page. But it's equally important to be on the same page with your spouse. It's equally important to be on the same page among the way your business runs, the way your finances run, the way your household runs.
So for this meeting, would you suggest that the couple actually goes and not just one person?
Absolutely. Most people like to come with their spouse because you're going to be talking with some experts. There are going to be some people there talking about investments and things of that nature. And it's probably a really bad idea to not have your wife around or to have your husband around if you're the one here hearing this information, trying to go home and share this type of information. I mean, let's face it, you've probably gone to some courses or some travel before on behalf of being a doctor, and you come home, you try to tell your spouse what you did, and you just can't recreate that for them.
No,
they just can't get the same experience. So
that actually happened to me. I went to a mastermind meeting. We were there together. I came there first by myself, and then I said, "Hey, I love this culture." I just signed up, and then I went home and told my wife all about it. Hey, we're gonna invest this. We're gonna invest this, and she was like, "What are you talking about?"
No, we're not.
I brought her back, and it was so powerful. So yes, so actually, we have a very good question here.
Mm-hmm.
Then Dr. Z again. She's asking, is it $1,500 per person or per couple?
It's per couple. It's you plus whether, and if you don't have a spouse to bring your office manager. Bring somebody that you believe could benefit from coming with you to help grow whatever it is you're trying to grow.
But because you know what? I mean, being on the same page, obviously you gotta be on the same page with your spouse. Yeah, we're talking about changing mindsets. We're talking about leadership training. We're talking about alternate investments, creating passive income. When you're talking about money, it's very, very important that you bring your spouse or else. Okay, that's some friendly advice for me. Okay.
Let me share this with you. In May, I'll be married 25 years.
Wow.
The reason that I'm married for 25 years and why some aren't, that should be, is money. It's the conversation of money. People are afraid to talk about it. And when it comes up and it doesn't go, when people aren't on the same page with money and one person wants to do one thing, one person sees it another way, that's the number one conflict that goes into.
Yeah, like I don't know, investing in a smoothie shop without telling your spouse, something like that.
That's right. That's like being a Texas Hold'em, all in and fold.
So guys, again, let me put that date up there. January 11th, 12th, and 13th. That's the first meeting. Okay, it's going to be in Tampa, but there's going to be other meetings as well. I saw that Dr. Z put on there that she's going to be, she actually teaches medical billing. She's like one of the experts. So I would love to have you join our group and at least come to at least one of those meetings. But there's going to be other meetings as well. But for now, we're going to talk about the one in Tampa and $1,500. You know, you go to the mastermind if you don't get anything out of it at all. Frank just said, well, it's on video now.
Yep.
Get your money back.
You get your money back. Yeah. I wouldn't want to keep, if I can't provide the value to you, and if the room can't deliver the value to you, you shouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So we got some, before we jump off here, let me talk about some of the experts that are in the mastermind, that's going to be in the group as well. Remember, everybody that is facilitating, speaking, whatnot, they're going to be members. Okay, we'll have some guests and whatnot, but we have people talking about real estate investments, land investments, tax strategies. I think you were saying something like that. Yes,
absolutely. Yes, tax strategies. There's a gentleman coming who is part of the group now, and he specifically does accounting for dentists, and he has tax strategies that he's amazed that the accountants that dentists have do not employ these things. He saves people a lot of money. Both Henry and Lacey and some others are already using him, and they're already seeing dividends from these things, plus what he's doing. We get into personality assessments. How would you like to know how to talk to people, right? How might that help you in your practice? What if somebody taught your practice how to talk to people? And I'm talking about utilizing DISC and Colby and various types of personality assessments to be able to start reading people a little bit better so that you can use that in your treatment planning, use that in your, whatever's going to benefit you from that perspective, and really use it at home too, right? Nice to know how to talk to each other, right? On a way that works to its benefit. People that'll be there will be in the same order lines for self-directed IRAs, with full understanding behind it, with concierge services and all that. Most people are using the regular traditional 401ks, or they have just an IRA somewhere, but they're not directing it. And so we've got some people to teach on that who are really looking forward to helping docs kind of get out of that, because they're just, unfortunately, that's just not a mainstream tactic, but it is a tactic deployed by the wealthy all the time. They know these things. They have people doing this stuff for them, and it's just not the common.
And it's all about learning about those things.
Absolutely, and even if you don't do it, the whole point of all these experts to come in and talk, the real main point here is to get you the knowledge so that you are no longer considered dumb money in that arena, right? Whatever that bucket is, right? Yeah, we're all dumb money in something that we have no knowledge of, right? And yet we're willing to put our money there because some good salesperson is telling us we ought to be there, right?
You know why we get into dumb money, Frank, most dentists? What happens is that they work in their practice, they're on that hamster wheel, they get burnt out, and while they're working on a patient, they're having dreams of opening a taco stand because they think it's so much easier. I'm going to go open a taco stand because, and what's so crazy about that, because it's true. For those of you who are watching, maybe one time you were thinking it might not be a taco stand, maybe ice cream shop or something. Like all of a sudden you become a genius. And like, I am going to start. I mean, I remember there was another group they were talking about, I want to open a car wash. I'm just going to open a car wash, Reason why we get like that at certain points of our career is that we are so beaten down, we're so burnt out, and we're looking for all these things. And the goal of this mastermind is to get off that hamster wheel. To an expert that you'll see is Frank, who's going to help you empower your team. There's going to be other experts, like we were talking about the tax strategy and deploying the IRA. That's going to help you get those incomes so that you don't have to work so hard in your practice. That's what it's all about.
About options.
Options, absolutely.
Having options. Some people love dentistry. Some of you do. That's great. But if you can do it on your terms, the days you want, the cases you want, and had other people doing stuff, that might be nice, right? Some people, not so much, but they still like owning the dentistry because, let's face it, the reason DSOs are there, they can make a lot of money at it. If they couldn't, they wouldn't be here. They would not do it. So it can be done. So you could still own dentistry and use that as your vehicle. The vehicle is less important than the knowledge behind you and the vehicle that you're using. You have the knowledge for whatever vehicle you're on, you're in good shape. You don't have knowledge for the vehicle you're behind, or that you're invested into. It's you're gambling. If things don't go right, how do you know? How are you going to fix it if it's not within your means to do so? If you don't know how to get it fixed, what are you going to do?
I love it. And on that note, I'm going to put a post up here. Guys, if you liked what we talked about here, if you're interested in possibly attending that first meeting, Same Page Mastermind, put in the comments section, Mastermind. Okay, not Megamind. I think some of the other person's like, hey, are you joining a Megamind? I was like, no, that's the cartoon my son watched the other night. No, it's not Megamind. It's Mastermind, okay? Type in the comments section, Mastermind, and then I'll put the link on. Like I said, $1,500. Go as a couple. Maybe if you're not married, bring someone who you really trust with you, and come and learn. And if you don't learn anything, get your money back. So comment in the comment section, Mastermind, and we'll put the link there. We already got a good group already. We have an awesome group. I'm not going to disclose who it is, but it's a really awesome group with a lot of experts in there. Love to see you guys there. So any parting comments, Frank?
I just, if you can't make January, April will be there. So I'd still, connect with Glenn, let him know that, hey, yeah, I am interested in this, but boy, this is short notice, and I get that. And to do that, we want what's best for you, right? Whatever works for you. If January is too fast and you can't make that happen, but if you can, it's a great way to start the year, because at the end of the day, we're right now getting ready to make all our plans for what 2019 is about to lay out. The sooner you can start getting some key answers to the things that are going through your mind about what's this year going to look like for you, the sooner you can do something about it.
I love it. Wise advice. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Put in the comments section, Mastermind. If we get enough of those, we'll put the link in there. And thanks a lot, Frank. I appreciate it.
You got it. I appreciate you too. Thanks for the time.